Meanwhile, an earnings alert on Hims and Hers Health. Shares dropping despite a top and bottom line beat. The conference call kicked off at the top of the hour. CNBC's Brandon Gomez joins us with more. Hi, Brandon.
Hey, Courtney. Yeah, look, I spoke with the company's CFO, Yemi Okupe, ahead of the call. Look, the stock has been a name that is make or break on weight loss. Still, he emphasized the majority of 2024 revenue was outside GLP-1 offerings and, in fact, increased 43% year over year. I did ask how he expects weight loss to grow now with the FDA declaring the Wegovy and Ozempic shortage over. He didn't seem too concerned.
Our aim, again, is not to look to circumvent any type of regulation in place that has kept consumers safe for decades, but we are looking to ensure that consumers have the ability to access medications that they need where they have a clinical need beyond what is commercially available.
Now, focus on that, Courtney. Clinical need. There are ways Hims can keep compounding even post-shortage. Clearly, though, investors pulling back a bit to wait and see what happens here. Shares down about 17%.
Yeah, Brandon, wow, that's quite a drop. Guy, what do you make of this name? Seems to be fairly volatile and obviously very connected to this GLP-1.
We play this game here on CNBC's Fast Money, when you put the letters together. Yeah. You know that thing, the acronym.
The acronym.
The acronym.
Yeah. Well, Emily with a Y, that's Emily Glassheart, cracks that.
Of course.
Hims was one of her stocks, and it went from 25 to 75 in a straight line. But now some reality is coming back, and it's, again, talk about at its zenith. This company was trading 150 times earnings. Even now with this move, it's probably trading at 90 times. I mean, it's a great company with a valuation that doesn't make sense. I mean, it should be trading back down, in my opinion, to about $32, which is where it started this run.
Couple things. It's got almost a 30% short interest, so you can be sure this thing's going to move around, and it's going to move around especially on numbers. Their revenues were solid. The guide was decent, and again, the outlook is something that I think people probably believe is there for them. Margins were a little bit light. I think you can get back down to those levels, though, and unfortunately, if you are a believer in the story, you are so tethered to the overall story around compounding and subcompounding, and this is something I think they're going to continue to trade on.
Karen, would you dig into this one? You're in other names in healthcare.
No, definitely not. I mean, it's trading on something else. You bring up the short interest, which is gigantic.
30%,
I do think
that's huge.
The lack of that it's no longer in shortage is a big deal to them. I didn't really quite get that answer to the question.
Right, clinical need is.
Yeah, so no, I am long Lilly.
Okay.
I also,
straight to the source.
Sorry, I mean, I look at Novo and I look at a stock that's down 40% over 6 months, and I look at the valuation there and I compare it to this. I mean, it's a no-brainer to me. You've got the company that's essentially supplying 2/3 of the supply of GLP-1s out there. There have been issues there, and there have been the competitive landscape and what they're doing in oral. But to me, if you're gonna take a shot in the GLP land where you're looking to swing a little bit of a heavier bat than just going into Lilly, it's Novo.
I like that. Take a shot. Yeah. Do that on purpose?
No,
sometimes
puns just flow out of
it. It came right out, like so easy.
So it's nice when people catch them and you actually look.
I caught it. I mean, if it was good, I would have.
It's also nice to look humble when you actually, I don't know.
Joe.
Totally planned.
Most people are going to raise their eyebrows with this comparison, but remember back when we had the real meme thing was going crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Robinhood almost went out of business. Literally almost. They were shut down. They weren't able to finish. And in order for them to be able to make it, they had to significantly they had one revenue stream, payment for order flow. That was it. They had to diversify that revenue stream significantly, and they had to fortify the balance sheet significantly. In the next couple of months, they got the balance sheet fortified, and in the last few years, they've done a great job of spreading out the revenue stream. That's why they are what they are today, and they've done really, really well over the span of the last 12, 14 months. If these guys don't diversify the revenue stream, they're going to go down with the ship with regard to the weight loss product. If they don't do that, they're not going to make it. If they do that, they may have a shot. But if they don't do that, they're going to have a real problem.
Do you like Hood here, based upon your background? I mean, if anyone's got a call on that business, it's you.
Yeah, okay. So the answer is yes. Based on what I just said, the answer is yes. So I'm really long financials, and I'm really long all technology. Okay, so within that, Hood's fintech. Mm-hmm. So I didn't want to touch it in the beginning. Then it started to do better, but then it started to take off. So it's doubled over the span of the last 12, 13 months or so. But it's come down recently about 25%. For the first time, we've been looking for an opportunity to buy. For the first time today, we bought a decent position of 49. So I'm a believer, but we've been incredibly patient waiting for something to happen. Wouldn't have touched it 3 or 4 years ago. Glad we were able to pick some up today.